bitches? What's up? Wake up. It's morning time.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm going to leave the music down at a level 7. I don't know if you can hear it. I don't care. What's up, everybody? Good morning, MP. Was in here quick. I didn't even expect it. What's up, bud? Oz, good morning. Good morning. Thank you for subscribing to our show. I'll make sure Ryan Turner sends you a thank you for that $1.56 that he somehow still cashes in on, because I am too lazy to change everything. So, what's up? GM, Caitlin, good morning. Forgot to bring my headphones with me, but hopping on to say hi as I wait for my blood work to be drawn. Oh, no problem. No problem at all. It happens. It happens. Thank you for stopping by and saying hi. And I hope the nurse stabs you quick and easy. I don't know how you are with blood. I'm super good with it. We all know MP don't like it, so he probably is about to leave if I talk any further. Getting ready for our oldest communion mass at school. Nice. Nice. Sounds awesome. Have fun with that. That is really cool. What's up, everybody? We are back. It's Thursday. Can you believe it? It's already Thursday. Man, what are we going to do? What we're going to do is we're going to have a good show today. We're going to have a good day. I'm going to try to slap work in the face. Because yesterday I got slapped in the face. So we're going to try to slap back today. Yesterday was rough. It was the age-old coming off of vacation to, a bunch of whatever, a bunch of stuff that I didn't get finished last week that is now 1 week older. And, stuff doesn't get better when you procrastinate. I don't know why I keep doing it, but it is what it is. I'm a deeply, deeply flawed human being. What's up, Bukes? Good morning. Have the best day. Thank you, sir. You as well. So yeah, a lot of that stuff that I didn't get done is still there. And I found myself very, very clouded, very in a fog, very much like not able to act once I got into this chair. And I distracted myself with the nonsense. And for me, the nonsense is usually organization. So, downloading all the pictures and videos off my phone from previous weeks of work and from the vacation, and then organizing them in the fashion that I do. Organizing my inbox. That's usually a thing I do after the weekend anyways. Sent out a final round of invoices. So I did get some stuff done, but it was this other stuff that I have going on that I don't know. I felt stuck. I felt really stuck. I felt really distracted. And so then eventually I was like, look, you're not going to get any work done. So just go home. Just go home. And even though I was planning on working a very long day yesterday, I went home a little early, got home at 4, still a ton of traffic, which sucks. And got home to a full house. Our oldest Bailey had one of her friends from school over, and her friend has a younger brother that Bentley is friends with in his school. So the two of them came over, and so the kids were playing and interacting as they do, which was really cool. And then my wife, I guess she was feeling the same vacation blues because she was exhausted too. She was working around the house, getting it all back into shape. 1, because we had company over, and 2, just because that's what she needed and wanted to do. So, dishes, laundry, house care, all that kind of stuff. And as soon as I came home, she was just like, I'm so tired. And I'm like, all right, let me get some food in me. Let me get something made. And then why don't you just go lay down? I can handle, the rest of the night. Again, 2 out of three kids were distracted with a friend, so it's not like we're talking heavy lifting here. But it was it was just a day. It was just a day. I think we came off of that vacation, that high, that euphoria, that whatever you want to call it, and just got smacked. Just got smacked in the face by regular life. So it is what it is. But it was good. It was good. We're gonna cruise through this episode. We're gonna cruise through it. I don't got much to say here today. Yesterday was good. Home's good. Home. Kids had friends over. My wife was exhausted. Barely any food in the house. Like been on a meal prep streak. But of course, when you're out of town, how do you meal prep? So, barely had anything. Had some chicken, threw it in the air fryer. I didn't even have anything to cover the chicken in, like to bread it in. So I asked ChatGPT, my new best friend. It's like, here's what I have. What can I use on this chicken to kind of put in the fryer? And believe it or not, which I didn't know, and it ended up tasting delicious. It had me spread non-fat Greek yogurt on the chicken, and then Cajun, and then some salt, pepper, garlic. And it was bomb. It was really good. So when in doubt, use some yogurt, I guess. I mean, I've done egg, I've done like milk and cream and stuff like that, but I did not expect yogurt at all. And thankfully, no one in my family was watching me do it. My wife definitely came over and saw like the chicken lathered in something, but she didn't ask. And I didn't tell her because I was like, I had her try a bite and she was like, "Oh, that's good." And I'm like, "Okay, well, can you please eat the leftovers tomorrow, today?" Question. And once she eats it, I will tell her, "Did you know that that was covered in yogurt?" Doesn't taste like yogurt at all. Um, because she would definitely not touch it if she found out that little tiny fact. In fact, her seeing it raw in its form covered in yogurt probably wasn't. She's probably not going to eat it. I don't know. What do we think? Will she eat it? I don't know. And it was too windy at our house to play basketball, so I was a little bummed. I I missed playing basketball with my little buddy this weekend while we were out. And it was a bummer that we're not in good weather right now. We're like in a weird like May, like it's damp here in the morning, it's windy, and it did rain the other day at our house. So what's going on? But let's get out of that. Let's get to summer. Uh, I need some sunshine. I need to be complaining that it's too hot. That's what I need. I need to be complaining that Jesus, might as well live in Arizona. It's so hot. But I don't. It's not there yet. So that was the basic download of my day yesterday. Last note that I have on here is listen to the VFAM sessions. I don't know if you know this. We have a friend here, Chels Messer, her husband Rob Messer, great friend of mine. He runs a podcast, VFAM sessions. You can find it on YouTube. That's usually where he posts stuff first because he, like many other people, are prejudiced against Spotify. So it is what it is. You take it with a grain of salt, and we wait a couple of days for him to release it on Spotify. But I'm watching it over on YouTube. His newest episode is with Ben Kind, another good friend of the show, another awesome dad. So you go listen to that website. Go listen to that show. Ben's great. Ben's amazing. Ben has a lot to say, lots of good things, and I can't say enough good things about Ben or Rob. I'm about halfway through the episode, so we're getting to the good stuff for sure. Yeah, that's it. So, what's up? 11 minutes in, no one's chatting with me. All right, we're gonna be a quiet episode. Totally fine. I'm gonna rock this one out quick. I know everybody is doing their own thing, getting their morning ready. What's going on? Do we have any shows going on right now? No competing shows? All right. It is what it is. Guys, the reading to see that? Speaking of I been kind, speaking of I been kind, right after I get done talking with him, his print just falls off my wall. The I been kind ghost is here in my office. What's up, Ben? I was shouting you out. You didn't have to take that off the wall, dude. You didn't have to prove that that's just a temporary placement. I'm waiting to get a frame. I'm waiting to figure out, like, I'm waiting to redo some stuff. Like, this technically isn't my office. That's not my print. That's my buddy's. I can't just take it off. I want to. I'm not a fan of it. I don't like the old school frame, but yeah, that's being the muse to give some. I know, right? Like I was I was feeling like I was losing it, and then yeah, out of nowhere. That's cool. All right, I'm gonna try to clip that. Send that to our friend Ben. Been posting that up there. I absolutely love that piece and all my other Ben kind pieces. I have one, two, three, four, five. I have five in my office here. Oh, forgot about those guys. Six, seven, six, seven. But yeah, I would love to get them all around, but I don't want to make it too weird for my office neighbor across the room there, because he's essentially staring at all my stuff and I'm essentially staring at his. That's why he put that there. That was like his thing, is like his desk faces it, so he likes looking at it. And I'm like, cool, I can understand that. So I can just like put a bunch of V Friends stuff like right behind your head. And he's like, no, man, please don't. So I keep it here. Let's chat. I need help hiring workers. They don't even have to be any good. Any hints? Oh, that is not like, that's the one thing like that I've learned from all my subcontractors and everyone that I talk to is finding good people and keeping good people is like one of the hardest things and battles. And like, that whole other layer of people management. So that's the one thing where I think if you guys have ever heard me talk about like when I'm busy talking about hiring someone, that I dread. I dread that portion of the job. I don't think I'll ever do it. I think I can manage pretty well on myself, maybe an assistant, but I just get worried that the value, like the structure that I'm building with my clients, my relationships, and my jobs, if I get too busy that I need someone, it's going to start to, I'm going to have to give them the basic tasks, which are the day to day. And I think that's the thing that people love the most about me, is that I am there. I do sit there and talk regularly with them. I do answer my phone all the time. So no, I'm sorry, man. I got nothing for you about hiring people. Chad, help them out if you do. If you know, I know you got plenty of people that you could reach out to that know all about that kind of stuff. I know MP's got workers that work for him. Creek Mike runs a restaurant, so I know he knows all about that. I mean, shoot, Ben and Whiskey both run an enterprise out there in Texas. So there's plenty, but it's not me. It's not me at all. I hire subcontractors who have their own people. So, at most those are the people that I hire, and it is tough. I mean, you got to kind of like, lead in with a little trust and faith and go on something. Go to a fast food place, find a hard worker and offer them more to come run your staff or your stuff. Oh, look at this guy. What's up, Dylan? Good morning. Haven't seen you in a while, but also I haven't been here in a while. That's what it is. That's interesting. Yeah, that's very interesting. I like that. All right, let's get to the reading. We cruised out to that 15-minute mark. That's what I like to hit. Fly on the wall as always. And then we talk about these readings. The reading today, I didn't really care for it for the first second. And it was more so it's on me than it is on the reading, right? Like I like the lesson, I like the story. But for me, my family tree, my ancestors, it's nothing that I ever have known or been very concerned about. I never did one of those like family tree projects where I got like detailed information on where the tree goes on both sides of my family. So I don't know anyone really beyond my living the relatives that were alive during my childhood. But as I started to read and reflect, I started to think about certain things that I do know about those people, and I did come up with a couple of things. So the reading did spark something in me, so I can appreciate it for that. When I first started, I was like, I don't know, that that doesn't seem like something I'm doing or passing down. But as I pushed a little deeper, I was able to find some stuff. So I'll turn it around. Good on you, reading. Um, I liked some of the notes that it said. It's no accident the way your kids turn out. There is some level of chance encounters. You never know who your kids are going to meet that's going to change and alter their life. It's no accident the way I turned out. I definitely have a lot of these traits from my family, but then by pure chance encounter, I met my wife, and I've been inclined to change the things. I've also met some really good people that have, uh, you know, pushed me towards that path, and it's been great. And I actually look towards my wife's family members as ancestors as well. So that's good for my kids. They have two sides now, kind of the same for most kids. So I love that about them. Um, you tell the stories of your ancestors. Yep, already talked about that. Well, I like this little note from ChatGPT. It says, "The values we live become the legacy we leave." That's cool. I like that. That's a nice take on this reading today. So, uh, I basically wrote, I don't have any stories that were told to me about my ancestors, about the older people in my family. I have some fond memories of my grandparents and great grandparents. Um, and then as I reflected further, my grandmother, uh, the one who's still alive, the one that we just went and saw last weekend, she's absolutely a an animal lover. I was telling stories at the dinner table to my kids of the farm that she used to have. So when I was their age, when we would go visit her in Arizona, she had a farm. She had 5 or 6 horses. She had a pen of the heck did she call them? She called them something, but they were some form of goats. I forget what what word she used to them. It was some sort of like different animal goats, little goats, pygmy goats. No, that doesn't sound right. But anyways, goats. And then she also had peacocks, which was very interesting. And my kids all were like, "What? She had peacocks?" I'm like, yeah, she had peacocks. I remember that very vividly. And then, like I've said, she had like 20 cats in her house and a bunch of dogs all the time. So it was very fun going to her house as a kid, learning to ride horses, growing up without a fear of animals because I was around them quite often. And, you know, fast forward, we have an animal lover in our household. We've always had a dog. That was very important to me. My wife grew up without animals because her older brother is very allergic to them, and her mom is a realtor and property manager. So if you've ever been in property management or you own rentals, it's a little harder when you allow people animals because they tend to, if not trained well, destroy property. Even if trained well, they do also tend to destroy property. My dog is very well trained, but he still made a French bulldog size head hole in our wall, and he is also taking dumps in our plants right now. So, even the best. But other than that, he's been pretty good. If we didn't have, the nice scratch resistant floors, they'd be all scratched up from him running around chasing balls. But yeah, that's where that head hole came from. Dude ran headfirst into a wall many times chasing the ball. I think it's just and no one else admitted to doing it. It seems right at his head level, so I have to blame him because none of the kids will admit it. It's not in their play area, so I kind of think it's him. Whatever. And then what else did I say? My grandparents on my dad's side, I look to them to be more of I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and just say that they were quiet observers of life, of the life that they created. Like I remember many memories growing up of them sitting in their chairs and just watching like the crowd of my aunts and uncles, so their kids and their spouses, and then all the grandkids. I remember a lot of scenes of that in their house. And then even moving forward to when I had kids, it would be a very similar thing. They would be sitting central and just watching the chaos ensue. And they didn't seem to talk very much. They didn't seem to do very much. I think they were just taking it all in, appreciative of the life that they built and what they had given all of us to build. So I like that. I do that at times when I have, large gatherings. I like to just kind of like sit and watch the different interactions. I'm definitely a people watcher. So yeah. And then my wife's grandparents. One of them I never met, but she looks to him as like the collector. We still have his rock collection that she remembers, you know, over the course of her childhood, sitting with him, looking at these rocks and having him tell her, none that I think she remembers at this point, but like stories of where he got them, whatever, just like kind of going through them and sorting them and stuff like that. And so we adopted that collection. We have it. And then her other grandmother on her dad's side, I labeled her as the walker and the talker. She was very much a walker. She loved to go on walks and stayed very active into her late years. Would love going on walks with her kids. I've been on a couple, and then she was a talker. Every time she would come over or we would go over to her house, she would sit with her kids, and they would just talk for hours. And I don't know what they would always talk about. I'm not a talker, so it always I say that, but I'm like literally rambling for 30 minutes straight daily. Um, I was never a talker. And I always looked at them and I was like, what could they possibly be talking about? Mother and son, like my wife's father, for what feels like hours and no interruption. Hey, look at David coming in hot. Um, and it's astonished me. And I've never understood it. I get very quiet when I'm in multiple group actions. But I guess when I'm one on one, I can talk, I can ask some questions, and I can listen. I'm pretty good one on one. This feels very one on one to me right now. So, all right, that truck was shaking the walls. But good morning, David. Thank you for popping in and saying hello. This is a quiet show. This is a calm show today. I'm better in groups. Okay, yeah. I just tend to fade in groups and just kind of like be more of the listener. I'll throw out a snarky, witty comment going back to our reading the other day. Better to be kind than clever. That's when I tend to be more clever, is in group settings. So I like it because it doesn't, there's no pressure. It's very chill. It's very calm. I get to watch a little bit more. I get to listen. Thomas Snarky, keep talking. I can get there. I can get there for sure. Um, so yeah, that was kind of how I pulled the reading out, or the reading pulled something out of me, which is great. That's what it's supposed to do, right? Originally, when I first read it, I didn't get it. I didn't attach. the more I thought about it, I was able to pull some things that I can see being passed down from my elders, which I like. Where's Cease the moment or the game? She's in a doctor's appointment and she forgot her headphones, so she's getting some blood drawn. I'm assuming it's a fairly regular thing for either checking on her kidney stones or checking on baby waffles that she's currently in the process of growing. Um, so I'm assuming it's a regular normal thing. We hope, right? So it's just us, David. It's just me, you, Oz, Dylan, maybe a couple people just hanging, just chilling. We're gonna call this a quiet one. We're gonna call this a quick one. We're gonna call this a Thursday special. It is what it is. We had the ghost of I Ben Kine knocking art off the wall. Oh, I forgot the Stoic tie-in. Stoic reading for the day is two things before acting. Remember these two things before acting. Okay, just two steps. It's really simple. One, don't get upset. Okay, depending on what it is, the situation that you're dealing with, could be easier or harder, but find a way to center yourself, ground yourself, and not get upset. And then two, do the right thing. Sounds simple, right? But you got to know your values. You got to know what the right things are. Yeah, dude, the notes are going strong. The notes are going strong. I still have no idea how long it's been, but I do have them all kept. These will go into the archives, into the Museum of Daily Dad's legacy, along with other really random stuff from the start of this show and the run of this show. But yeah, I have been keeping them. I have been doing them. I feel like it. I feel like it does make it better. It gives me a place to go to, especially on days like this where the chat's a little lower, which is totally fine. It happens. We can't expect you guys to be here every single day, just like talking my ear off. And I probably should, you know, have a little consistency in content. You know, so and it does help me go a little deeper into the reading, think a little harder, and then, like I've said before, the first section of it is all about my day, the previous day, and kind of like if there are any parenting journeys or wins or snafus or whatever. And so it helps me reflect. It helps me appreciate. It's like a daily journal. So I like it a lot. I probably actually should. Now that I think about it, instead of just putting it on scratch paper, I should actually just journal it. That's an interesting take. I should just grab another empty journal. I'd have to check the format because right now the format, like working on one big page, works for me. It's nice and big font. I can read it. Journaling would be interesting though, because then it would just be kept. Yeah, I kind of like that idea. I might try that. We'll see. Hopefully it goes well. But yeah, I thank you, man. I appreciate that. It is. I think it's doing a little better. I think David would agree. The shenaniganery of before. I don't know how it comes off if I ever get a co-host with me. Um, like because the notes pretty much last the 30 minutes. If Jason were to come back and he were to have his notes, who knows? Doing some book writing, it starts with journals. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever write a book. That's not for me. My life has been very interesting, but I feel like just interesting to me. And I don't have a good memory. I don't know. I think there's been some really cool stuff, but the fuzziness of the memories. But I like that idea of journaling all along and then having that way to reference back. That's pretty cool. So like if you plot out 10, 15 years from now, the journals that I would have, that could be very interesting. That's what you were saying. But yeah, guys, thanks for hanging out. We got it. We got a 6 a.m. Tom has already written us and witnessed life already with the fam. Yeah. Yeah, that's what pictures and videos. I love that aspect of our life right now. The pictures and videos of my kids are going to be the reference points that they'll have for all the stuff that they went through in their life will be way more detailed than mine. But then at the same time, I don't feel like they're getting getting after it as much as I did. Partially because I was a bad boy, and you can't. It's really hard to be a bad boy these days, because of all the camera phones and everything like that. So I wouldn't be able to have gone through all the craziness that I went through in today's age. Still would have tried, but all right, we're gonna close the show now. Thank you guys. Appreciate you as always. We'll be back here tomorrow, same time, same channel, and yeah, that's it. Hit me in the DMs, find me on the Twitter. I'll try to post a clip or something that we can interact to. I've not heard the music at all this whole time. I doubt you guys have either, but seriously, have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, everybody.
What's up, bitches? What's up? Wake up. It's morning time.